Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive concept that'll fundamentally change exactly how you interact with your paycheck. We're going to look at why simply earning more money just isn't the magic fix you might think it is. And we'll be breaking down the absolute golden rule of financial independence. Let's get right into it. Think back to your school days for a second, right? You spent years learning geometry, algebra, maybe even agonizing over calculus. But absolutely no one taught you how to actually save money. It's crazy. And honestly, that missing piece of education is exactly why so many of us struggle today. I mean, we were given all the tools to calculate complex equations, but we were left completely in the dark when it comes to managing the actual cash we spend 40 hours a week trying to earn. So because of that giant gap in our education, most of us just fall into this really predictable default pattern. You know the drill. You earn your money, your paycheck hits, and then you immediately go out and pay your bills. Rent, the car payment, utilities, the whole shebang. And the thing is, society actually rewards this behavior. So you naturally think you're doing it perfectly right because, hey, you're taking care of your obligations first. But then we hit the reality check. At the end of the month, after you've made all those supposedly responsible payments and handled your daily expenses, you look at your accounts, and poof, your money has mysteriously vanished into thin air, leaving you completely broke. Look, if that disappearing act sounds painfully familiar, you are absolutely not alone. It's literally the default state for millions of people. You do all the hard work, you pay everyone else, and you're left with zero to build your own future. So here's the absolute crucial takeaway. Saving money is actually not about how much you make, it's entirely about what you do with it. Which brings us to a super fascinating question, right? If it's not an income problem, why do people who make massive salaries, we're talking serious high earners here, still find themselves living paycheck to paycheck? Seriously, how can someone bringing in thousands and thousands of dollars a month still end up at absolute zero? Well, it's because they were never taught the right system. High earners, low earners, it doesn't matter. They all fall into what we call the save what's left trap. This isn't just bad math, it's basic behavioral economics. It's basically Parkinson's law applied to your personal finances. Our expenses just magically expand to fill whatever available balance we have. We all kind of live under this absolute myth that you can just pay your bills, go out to eat, have some fun, and then magically, whatever happens to remain in your checking account will just go into savings. But let's be real and just sit with this quote from the source for a second. If you wait to save what's left, there won't be anything left. It hits hard because it is the honest, brutal truth about human behavior. When you just leave money sitting there, life will always find a way to absorb it. A new expense pops up, a random dinner invitation happens. Waiting to see what's left over at the end of the month is just a guaranteed mathematical formula for saving absolutely nothing. So we need a shift. Let's talk about the golden rule. Here is the rule that changes literally everything. Pay yourself first. What this means is setting aside a chunk of your money before you spend a single dime and before you pay anyone else. You've got to completely flip the script. When that paycheck hits your account, before the landlord gets paid, before the credit card company gets paid, and definitely before your favorite coffee shop gets paid, you pay yourself. You are securing your own financial future before addressing any other obligation. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, but how much should that be? The source material keeps it incredibly simple and totally accessible. We're talking just a strict 10%. 10% of whatever you make gets taken right off the top, immediately. Think of it as paying your future self. I mean, you did the work, you earned the money, so you should actually get to keep a piece of it, right? 10% is your starting line for true financial independence. Let's make this hyper concrete so we can see exactly how it plays out in reality. Say you make $1,000. You aggressively and immediately save $100. Boom, that's your 10%. And you do this first, not at the end of the month, not after rent. The very second that $1,000 lands in your hands, that $100 is removed and locked away safely in savings. And then you use the rest. You take that remaining $900 and you use it for your actual life. You pay your bills, you buy your groceries, and you live out of that remaining pool of money, not the other way around. By taking your cut first, you're basically forcing yourself to adjust your lifestyle to what's left, rather than just crossing your fingers and hoping your savings will somehow adjust to your lifestyle. All right, so how do we actually do this? Let's get into the action plan and execute this rule. The source outlines 3 vital, absolute, non-negotiable habits to make this work. Step 1, know where your money is going. You can't control what you can't see, right? Step 2, cut the unnecessary spending. Once you see the flow of your cash, you can easily spot the waste and just trim it right out. And step 3, which honestly is the absolute most powerful part of this, make saving automatic. Do not rely on your own willpower to manually transfer that 10% every single month. Because let's face it, willpower fails, systems don't. Set up your accounts so the second your paycheck hits, that 10% is automatically routed to a separate savings account without you ever even lifting a finger. So why do these specific habits matter so much? Well, as the source beautifully sums it up, small changes lead to big results over time. Automating 10%, it might feel like a tiny, insignificant tweak today. Cutting out a couple of random expenses might feel like nothing this week. But consistency is your ultimate leverage here. Those small, automated, disciplined choices are going to compound month after month, year after year, and fundamentally transform your entire financial reality. Look, school taught you the math, but now you actually understand the mechanics of wealth. The golden rule is right there in your hands. So the real question isn't whether you know how to save anymore. It's whether you have the discipline to log into your bank account right now, set up those systems, and automate your future. Are you going to keep struggling in the same old cycle, or are you ready to start using your money the smart way? That's the real takeaway from this explainer. Think about it.